Corey Sorgas here for Slap News pre-fight interview Power Slap number 4 going down August 9th, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Pacific. We've got Cole Young going up against Jules Scott. We have Cole Young here with us today. We're going to get into this matchup and we're going to see how he's feeling going into this match. I know he's super motivated for more than one reason to get up there once again in Las Vegas, up at that table and prove what he has. Cole, how you doing, my man?
Good. Good to see you.
Awesome. Number 4. I know you're someone that doesn't lack motivation. You've got a lot of things that you're fighting for. I know you're an emotional person usually, right after a match. How important is it for you after a loss to get back up here 4 weeks later, Power Slap number 4, and try to redeem yourself?
It's everything. I got to show them who the hell I am. I haven't done that the past 2 times. I just got to come with the best version of me and show them who I know I really am.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it got to you a little bit with, all the hype, Dana was touting you? Do you think it kind of got a little bit ahead of where you actually were? And has it kind of been a bit of a letdown to try to kind of manage those expectations that a lot of the brass put upon you?
Yeah, it was, obviously you can see that right at one win and they were trying to get me a title shot. So like I said, I was trying to manage it, and I came very close to managing it. Like in my fights, I'm doing well. I'm not sucking or anything. Like I'm showing them what I still got. And that's why they keep bringing me back. Obviously, they can see that I have a chin. Nobody's wobbling me. I'm not going nowhere. So, and they can see that.
For sure. The matches that have gone, in the deeper rounds with you, you seem to pick up more momentum, kind of as you go. Your confidence seems to build, kind of as you take those shots. You doing anything to try to be able to have that confidence right from the get-go?
I once you get slapped in the face, I guess it wakes me up. I don't know. I don't know. We're going to try that this time, though.
Awesome, my man. You're going up against Jules Scott, an OG from the Road to the Title series. We've seen him just take care of business against Andrew. What do you see in his game? He had a long layoff. He came back against Andrew, with some different techniques, but it was obviously a weird match. Wasn't able to fully, unload everything on him. But what did you see in that last performance?
He's real aggressive, Jules is a nice guy. I've met him a couple times. He's real aggressive. He's got a little bit lower, so I think that's a positive on his side, being a little bit shorter, striking upwards. But no, I know he's got a little bit of power. I'm not worried about it. It's nothing for me. Everybody else I've fought has more power than he does. I see in his interview he says he's a different animal, but he's human, and I ain't worried about him.
Awesome, man. What have you been doing, man? Have you been changing up your training technique? I know last time you talked about using a baseball tee. You still doing the same thing, or have you kind of went back to the drawing board to try to get back in the win column here?
I look back on my last fight and I realized why I was clubbing. And besides that, and I flinched my last fight, which I wish I would have never done. I never did want to do that in my career. When you flinch, you just look like a bitch, let's be honest. But I'm not worried about getting hit anymore. I'm just going to stand there and take it, look them in the eyes. As for training for technique and stuff, I got my power all together. Now I just need it clean. I know how to throw the best power I got, but I just need to clean it up a little bit and not club. The clubbing is a huge thing because all the power goes right, into their neck. It's not going to turn their chin or anything. Yeah. So accuracy is the key here.
Absolutely. So why were you clubbing then? You said you identified it.
Well, I would like to keep that kind of a secret. It's to do with ranging. It's to do with as soon as you step up there and you get your what do they call it?
Measure.
Yeah. So it's that, and if you watch Manny, he ducks his chin every time. It's a slight bit, but just that much, So it was that, and mixed with my ranging. So that was the reason.
Do you feel, I mean, oftentimes we see you to go up for your measure, you seem to kind of, shuffle your feet, set side to side because you do seem to line up a little bit closer to the table. And I think, you realize that you need to move yourself back.
Mm-hmm.
I know early on they actually changed. I'm not sure if you were around or not when it was, but the boxes used to be deeper and they shortened them up and they made them slightly wider. From my understanding from the rules meetings that I've been told is that as long as part of your foot is within that box, you are good to go.
Yeah.
So are you changing your approach right from the get-go and how you're lining up for that measure to give yourself more range to kind of be in that power band?
Well, see, what my thought process was last time was I want my arm bent a little bit and I want my elbow coming through with my arm.
Okay.
I don't want my elbow, taking all the power away when I hit.
Yeah.
So I'm not going with the hook this time. I'm not throwing a hook. I'm keeping my distance. Just like on my first fight, I was long armed, and I think you get a little bit more whip when you give yourself a little bit more length as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you definitely will. I mean, the further away, the more speed you could definitely generate. And obviously, you still have to hit it on that button to be able to make that happen. And I think actually, if you have the bit of that bent arm too, when you throw it with more speed, you could have the propensity of actually straightening out and actually going slightly deeper too. So there could be
exactly, and you only get a few inches.
No,
and another thing I wanted to say was,
yeah,
you can slap a dummy all you want. You can slap mitts all you want. You can do all that, and I mean, obviously, when you get up there, it's wild. You lose it. But the only time you get to slap somebody is on that stage. So that's where I'm learning everything is on that stage every time. I am learning it the hard way up there. There's a lot of money on the line, a lot of your legacy on the line, but that's where you're learning everything, really.
All right, cool. Yeah, so we talked about Jewel Scott being a shorter athlete. So 5'7" is official height. You said that you think the shorter athlete had a bit more of an advantage, but have you tried to determine how you being the taller striker, how you could take advantage of that downward strike at all?
I don't like a downward strike. I think, if anything, I'm going to bend my knees a little bit more. My first two opponents were quite a few inches shorter than me, both of them. So I've dealt with it before. I think turning the chin upwards is a lot more. It's going to have a lot more impact, but we'll see.
Yeah, gotcha, my man. In a real world, how do you kind of see this fight unfolding? Come August 9th. Just looking at it here real quick, and Jewel won the coin toss. So how do you see it unfolding?
I know that. I mean, I'm not doing any predictions anymore. I always screw myself and look like an idiot. And what I've learned from that is that anything can happen. But one thing I do know is that I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna take the hit, which I know I can. I know I'm gonna be a lot cleaner this time. And if it goes 3 rounds, it goes 3 rounds. And if the knockout comes, the knockout comes. But I'm just going to be throwing clean strikes. And if it has to go to a decision, I'm okay with that now. Before, I wasn't okay with decisions. But there's money on the line, and I need that win.
Yeah. I mean, if Jewel Scott is watching this, what do you want to say to him?
Sorry, dude. I mean, sorry, Jules. Your time's up, old man. It's my turn.
Yeah, I mean, definitely some of the young blood coming in and squaring up against the OGs of the sport. Obviously, the sport is ever fast evolving. As we kind of talked a little bit about earlier, like the opportunity for you to get the experience since you can't spar in this sport is there up on the stage. From your first match until now, looking at the evolution and where things have progressed, what's your overall thought on it? And do you think it's gotten more complex now with the different mental games and the different strategies that are being employed?
Yeah, I mean, all that new, it's so new. I mean, there's new things you're learning every time. So all that's behind you and you're focusing on the new problems that come, because there's always going to be a problem, but it's just getting those problems figured out and how to manage them.
Totally. Is there any one other striker within the league that you're really excited about that you think has a bright future, whether it's in your weight class or another weight class?
I mean, Dwayne Crespo, he's doing big things, I'm excited to see what he's got going on. I mean, he's obviously the co-main event, so he's already a rising star, but Let's see. Some of the new guys. Austin Turpin. Everybody knows him. He's one of my buddies, and he's fireworks when he gets out on that stage.
Totally. What'd you think of Nate Bernard?
Nate Bernard. Yeah, that's a great one. That's a great one. And
Yeah.
he's the one fighting Crespo. He's actually from Buffalo, so we're from the same part of the New York State. I think that kid's got some power, and I think he's got a huge future in this. I mean, the kid's a beast.
Yeah, I mean, man, we got 3 guys from New York State, on this card. Hopefully, as it evolves, man, maybe we can get 3 of you up there, Madison Square Gardens. Wouldn't that be a lifelong achievement for you?
Yeah, well, I've had 2 of my friends say they've been talking to Erica. Well, now, so there's gonna be more New York guys. I'm sure of it.
Awesome, my man. I appreciate you. Shoot out your social handles so people can follow you into the matchup.
Instagram is cole.r.young, and then you can find me on Facebook at just Cole Young from Greenwood, New York.
Awesome, my man. Travel safe. We'll see you down there in Las Vegas. Take care.
Thanks, brother.